The rain fell in sheets as Laura arrived at Blackwood Manor, a sprawling, decrepit mansion that loomed over the surrounding forest. She had inherited the estate from an uncle she had never met, a reclusive man who had died under mysterious circumstances. Despite its decayed state, the manor had an eerie charm, compelling Laura to stay and uncover its secrets. As Laura stepped inside, the air grew colder. Dusty chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and the wooden floors creaked under her weight. She noticed family portraits lining the walls, their eyes following her every move. The atmosphere was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional clap of thunder. Determined to make the best of her inheritance, Laura began exploring the mansion. She found old diaries and letters hinting at strange occurrences, whispers in the night, objects moving on their own, and the appearance of ghostly figures. The more she read, the more she realized that the hauntings were centered around a single room, the locked study of her late uncle. One stormy night, unable to resist the pull of the mystery, Laura decided to enter the study. She found the key hidden in a hollow book, just as described in one of the diaries. With a trembling hand, she unlocked the door and stepped inside. The study was eerily well preserved, unlike the rest of the manor. An antique clock ticked loudly, and the air was heavy with the scent of old books. On the desk lay a journal, open to a page filled with frantic writing. As Laura read, she learned of a ritual her uncle had attempted, a ritual to summon and control spirits. Suddenly, a cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles. Laura felt a presence behind her, and when she turned, she saw a shadowy figure emerging from the wall. It was her uncle, his eyes hollow and filled with despair. He reached out, but his touch was ice cold and passed through her. Desperate to free the trapped spirit, Laura searched the journal for a way to reverse the ritual. She found a counter ritual and gathered the necessary items: salt, candles, and a mirror. As she performed the ritual, the house groaned and shook, as if fighting against her efforts. In a final burst of energy, Laura completed the ritual, and a blinding light filled the room. When the light faded, her uncle's spirit was gone, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The mansion, though still old and worn, felt lighter, as if a dark cloud had been lifted. Laura decided to stay at Blackwood Manor, turning it into a place of refuge and learning. She continued to study the supernatural, honoring her uncle's memory by ensuring no other spirits would suffer the same fate. The manor, once a place of fear, became a beacon of hope and knowledge in the dark world of the supernatural.